Hello, this is French with Kate Languages. If you've purchased the full lesson, you should have been able to download the worksheet that I'm going to talk us through during the lesson when you purchased it. If you're listening to or watching the 5-minute free sample of the lesson and you would like the worksheet, then head over to katelanguages.co.uk/courses to purchase the full lesson. So today's lesson is going to be about silent letters in French. So you may have noticed if you did the first lesson that when you're pronouncing French, quite a lot of letters are actually silent. But as with the general phonics, there are some really quite simple and straightforward rules to follow, and that's what I'm going to talk us through now in this lesson. So the silent letters at the beginning of words, the letter H is silent, and usually if you're using the definite article, you need to use L apostrophe. And if you're using something like je, then that would then contract to J apostrophe. So I live, for example, is j'habite, because the H is silent. And yeah, if you're using M or something like that, which is a reflexive myself, again, that becomes M apostrophe. So some examples of the silent H, for example, the name Hugo. So we would say Hugo in English, but in French it's Hugo. So as with the previous lesson, if you repeat after me, I'll leave a gap and after I say the words and you can repeat them. So Hugo, wheat, heureux, and homme. And if you have the definite article with that, you would say l'homme. Okay, so the L is almost like the first letter, the first sound of the word. So you don't leave a gap between the L and the om. It's just l'homme, meaning man. So again, Hugo, huit, which means 8, heureux, which means excuse me, which means happy, and l'homme, which means man. There are some exceptions to the L apostrophe rule. There is an H which is called the aspirated H. You don't pronounce it, so it's not like in English. So the example I've got is le hockey. You don't say hockey like in English, it's no but you have to say le hockey. Another great example that I just love, that you learn the word for owl fairly quickly if you're doing phonics like this, is le hibou, which means owl, le hibou. And green beans, which is a really common one, and you actually, so this is as a plural, you say les haricots verts. Les haricots verts. And this leads us quite nicely onto the silent consonants at the ends of words. So as you can see, les ends in S, haricot ends in TS, and vert also ends in TS. And the S on les, the TS on haricot and vert are completely silent. So we have lots of silent letters at the ends of words. They're generally, so most consonants tend to be silent at the end of French words, not all. I kind of tried to go through the alphabet and couldn't think of a French word ending in B to start with. There probably is one, but yeah, I couldn't really think of one. So I've done a few examples of common French words that end in consonants where the consonant's silent at the end of the word. So for example, the word for white, again, I'm going to say all these, I'll leave a space and then you can pronounce them after me. So blanc, which means white. I think English people tend to try and say blanc, like Mont Blanc, the mountain, but it's not, it's blanc. Blanc. Grand, which means big. Grand. Gentil, which means nice. Bon, which means good. Trop, which means to. Manger, which means to eat. Très, meaning very. Chat, which means cat. De, which means to. And assez, which means quite. So you'll get a much better understanding for this if you're actually watching either the video or if you've got the worksheet, because you'll see how they're spelt. So I hope you enjoyed that free 5 minutes or so of French silent letters. If you want to access the full lesson, go to katelanguages.co.uk/courses, where you can download the worksheet and you can watch or listen to the full lesson. Thanks.